Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Aravindadalayataksham Bhāgavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Bhagom Vigamaniya Vishesha Shobham
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Anganiyasa Sakalem Priya Vriti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam
For the pleasure of the Lordship, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai, Shri Shri Radhavallabh, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. Daily score report for Saturday, 9th of April. We'll read the weekly scores. Books distributed this week. Crosswords team, 1 small for 0.25 book points. Janvi Jeevan Mataji, 2 Mahabig for 4 book points. Chandan Prabhu, 2 Mahabig for 4 book points. Kiran Khanna Mataji, 3 small, 2 medium, 3 big and 1 Mahabig for 6.75 book points. Bhishma Pitama Prabhu, 4 Mahabig for 8 book points. Sivya, 5 Mahabig for 10 book points. Aradhita, 1 small and 7 Mahabig for 14.25 book points. Vishnu Prabhu, 2 big and 7 Mahabig for 16 book points. Hemant Prabhu, 5 small, 3 medium, 1 big, 8 Mahabig for 19.75 book points. Jait Prabhu, 2 small, 3 big and 9 Mahabig for 21.5 book points. Matsya Mataji, 7 small, 2 medium, 1 big and 9 Mahabig for 21.75 book points. Sandeep Prabhu, 15 Mahabig for 30 book points. Nanda Gopal Prabhu, 1 medium and 17 Mahabig for 34.5 book points. Nitin Chauhan Prabhu, 14 big, 12 Mahabig for 38 book points. Balwan Prabhu, 1 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set for 72 book points. Ashwin Acharya Prabhu, 1 Mahabig and 1 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set for 74 book points. Madan Mohini Mataji, 39 Mahabig for 78 book points. Karthik Prabhu, 13 small, 4 medium, 4 big, 56 Mahabig for 121.25 book points. Vasudev Sankarshan Prabhu, 8 small, 1 medium, 6 big, 34 Mahabig and 1 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set for 148.5 book points. Nikunj Viharini Mataji, 8 small, 1 medium, 6 big, 19 Mahabig and 2 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets for 190.5 book points. And Mahalakshmi Mataji, 9 small, 8 medium, 13 big, 15 Mahabig and 5 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets for 409.25 book points. That gives the weekly total of 57 small, 22 medium, 53 big, 262 Mahabig and 10 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sets for 1322.25 book points. Preaching score. Radhe Chai Bar, 71 guests for 855 Lakshmi points. Gopal's, 166 guests for 2000 Lakshmi points. And Crossways, 282 guests for 2373 Lakshmi points. Preaching score this week. Melbourne Uni, 115 guests for 500 Lakshmi points. Radhe Chai Bar, 686 guests for 8,287 Lakshmi points. Gopal's, 1,036 guests for 12,462 Lakshmi points. And Crossways, 1,711 for 15,347 Lakshmi points. That gives the weekly running total of 3,548 guests for 36,596 Lakshmi points. Lakshmi liberated this week. Crossways team, 5. Janvi Jeevan Mataji, 25. Chandan Prabhu, 30. Kiran Mataji, 45. Sivya, 61. Vishnu Prabhu, 95. Bhishma Pitama Prabhu, 110. Aradhita, 110. Matsya Mataji, 121. Hemant Prabhu, 164. Jait Prabhu, 165. Nand Gopal Prabhu, 192. Sandeep Prabhu, 225. Nitin Prabhu, 281. Ashwin Prabhu, 315. Balwan Prabhu, 350. Madan Mohini Mataji, 425. Temple Shop, 542. Karthik Prabhu, 843. Vasudev Sankarshan Prabhu, 855. Nikunj Viharini Mataji, 907. Bhakti Sarvabhauma, 1621. Mahalakshmi Mataji, 1820. Farm Catering, 1905. Veribi Festival, 2364. Donation Box, 2468. Unify Music Festival, 15,310, and member services 22,931. That gives the daily total of 3,681 and running weekly total of 54,285. Sankirtan Yagni ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ram Navami Mahamotsav ki jai.
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevalabha Ati Shadma. Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevalabha Ati Shadma. Evando mue Shavadana Mate Vando mue Shavadana Mate Jahara Prasade Bhai He Bhavatoriya Jai Prabhupada Jahara Prasade Bhai He Bhavatoriya Jai He Krishna Prapti Hai Jahar Hai De Krishna Prapti Hai Jahar Hai De Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Jitate Koriha Akya Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Jitate Koriha Akya Arana Koriya Maner Asa Arana Koriya Maner Asa Shri Guru Charane Rati Eshe Uttama Gati Shri Guru Charane Rati Eshe Uttama Gati Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asa Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asa Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asa Chakudan dilo Jai Janve Janne Prabhu se Prabhupada Chakudan dilo Jai Janve Janve Prabhu se Devagan Hriday Prakasito Devagan Hriday Prakasito Prema Bhakti Jahate Apita Vina Sajate Vedagai Jara Charito Vedagai Jara Charito Siguro Karuna Sindhu Hadama Janara Bandhu Siguro Karuna Sindhu Hadama Janara Bandhu Lokena, Lokera Jivana Lokena, Lokera Jivana Ah, Prabhu Gorodaya Deho More Bhaktivedanta Prabhu Korodaya Deho More Bhaktivedanta Sutubhana Devajal Kusudevabhana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Eha Prabhu Korodaya Deho More Bhaktivedanta Prabhu Korodaya Deho More Bhaktivedanta Devajal Kusudevabhana Sutubhana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Prabhupada Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nite Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Yirve Jaisa Sunyavadi Pasyata Desa Tarine. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta. Yadaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hey Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Raghupati Raghava, Raja Ram, Patita Pavana, Sita Ram. Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram. Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram. Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sitaram. Pati Ram Rama Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sitaram. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Mridanga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Balo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Sitaram Jaya, Sitaram Jaya, Sitaram. Sitaram Jaya, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. Lakshman Hanuman, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. Lakshman Hanuman. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Shanti, Shanti. Hey, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Gaurare. Nitai Gauranga, Gaurare. Jai Satinandana, Jai Satinandana. Jai Satinandana, Gaura, 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 Hare. Gaura, 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 Hare. Gaura, Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Gaura, Hare. Gaura, 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 Hare. Jai Satinandana, Jai Satinandana, Jai Satinandana, Gaura Hare. Jai Satinandana, Jai Satinandana. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, oh, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Dancing. Hey, hey. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One level. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, yeah, Hare Hare, yeah, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, yeah, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One level. Yes, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman, Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman. Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman, Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman. Jayo! Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman, Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman. Jai Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman, Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman. Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman, Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman. Jai Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman, Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Gaura, 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 Hare. Gaura, 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 Hare. Gaura, 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 Hare. Gaura, 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hey! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Follow. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Nitya Gaura Haribo, Haribo. Nitya Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Mridanga, Mridanga. Jaya, Jaya, Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, bole bole. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram. Lakshman Hanuman Jaya, Lakshman Hanuman Jaya, Lakshman Hanuman Jaya, Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram, Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Premanande. Jai Vishwabad Paramahamsa, Laisa Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. ki! Founder of ISKCON! Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki! Harinam Sankirtan ki! Sankirtan Yagya ki! Hare Krishna Maha Mantra ki! Need some catch up some air. Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Krishna Krishna! Hare Hare! Hare Rama! Hare Rama! Rama Rama! Hare Hare!
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Gaur Premanande. Jai Vishnu Bhagavatam Mahamsa Bhagavad Divine Grace. Hey, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīmad Prabhupada ki jai. Śrīmad Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas. Hare Bo. Jai Vishnu Paramahamsa Bhagavad Divine Grace. Hey, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. My head spinning. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Mathura Dham ki jai. Mayapur Navadip Dham ki jai. Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi ki jai. Ganga Mai Jamuna Mai ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Sankirtan Yagya ki jai. Hare Krishna Maha Mantra ki jai. Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Set Distribution ki jai. Ram Navami Maha Mahotsava ki jai. Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Ayodhya Dham ki jai. Ramchandra Bhagwan ji ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Vallabha ji ki jai. Jagannath Radha Baladev ki jai. Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki jai. Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir ki jai. Gaur Premanande. All glory to the assembled bodies. All glory to the assembled bodies. All glories, glories, glories to the assembled bodies. Glory to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. The Lord is fear of our spiritual master. Follow. Down to his Lord's feet, great honor, reverence. Ocean of material sufferings, and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from Lotus mouth. It has been to Lotus's perfection, fulfill all desires. He opened my darkened eyes and fulfills my heart a transcendent knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic mem emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master, the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your famous for all of us, you all. We take shelter of your lotus feet. Save the whole world. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Śrīmad Prabhupada Guru Puja ki. Ram Navami Mahotsav ki. Gaur Premanande. I'm giving the class.
Yes, I know.
Because we have tight program morning. 9:30 finish, right?
No, 9:30 class program starts.
9:30. There's only 1 hour left. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class ki. Don't go away ki. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Haribo, there's a bag there. Can you bring it? Behind the drum. Gopi Janavala Vaghivaradhari. Gopi Janavala Vaghivaradhari. Thank you. Yasodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yasodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Bolo. Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram. Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram. Bolo. Sitaram Jaya Sitaram Sitaram Jaya Sitaram. Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram. Sitaram Jaya Sitaram Sitaram Jaya Sitaram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande Jai Vishwabad Paramahamsa Parivacharya Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Ramchandra Bhagwan ki jai. Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Ayodhya Dham ki jai. Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir ki jai. Shri Radha Ballabha ji ki jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai ki jai. Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to the assembled devotees. Glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glory to the Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. $53, right? Nadhi Vyadhi Jaraglani Dukha Shoka Bhaya Klamaha Mrityushchani Chatam Nasid Rame Rajanya Dhoksaje Nadhi Vyadhi Jaraglani Dukha Shoka Bhaya Klamaha Mrityushchani Chatam Nashid Rame Rajanya Dhoksaje. Balu. Nitya Mrityurachani chatam nasi. Chatam nasi. Mataji's, please. Na, not. Adhi, Adhyatmi kya, Adhibhautika and Avidaivika. 3 types of miseries. That is suffering from the body and mind, from other living entities and from nature. Vyadhi, disease. Jara, old age. Glani, bereavement. Dukkha, grief. Shoka, lamentation. Bhaya, fear. Klamaha, and fatigue. Mrityu, death. Cha, also. Anischatam, of those who did not like it. Na asit, there was not. Rame, during the rule of Lord Ramachandra. Rajani, because of his being the king. Adhokshaje, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is beyond this material world. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was the king of this world, all bodily and mental suffering, disease and old age, bereavement, lamentation, distress, fear and fatigue were completely absent. Though there was even no death for those who did not want it. All these facilities existed because of Lord Ramachandra's presence as the king of the entire world. A similar situation could be introduced immediately if in this age, Kali, called Kali, the worst of all ages, it is said, Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. Krishna descends in this Kali Yuga in the form of his holy name. Together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If we chant offenselessly, Rama and Krishna are still present in this age. The kingdom of Ram was immensely popular and beneficial, and the spreading of this Hare Krishna movement can immediately introduce a similar situation even in this Kali Yuga. Yeah, today is a very, very special day in our calendar. Apart from Gaur Purnima, Janmashtami, I always had affection for Lord Ram. Even from childhood, I used to see Lord Ram very handsome and greenish color, very stout. So I was very attracted to Lord Ram, Sita Ram, and Hanuman, Lakshman. Before I say anything, actually, we have to first of all understand these are not just stories that people think. Sometimes people say it's like a mythology. They don't believe it. Especially in the Western country, people say, if you show it to me. Seeing is believing. So we have to first of all understand that this is all true. This is all the stories from the Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata. They're written by Vyasadeva. So these are not just mythology. These places still exist. Ayodhya Dham, millions and billions of people are going there. Vrindavan, Mayapur, their Lord pastimes took place. So these are not just mythology. So seeing is believing is not true, because if you say that, there's so many things you can't see with your eyes. But yet you conclude seeing is believing. That is not true, because I can't see behind this wall. And I can't see many things, even a hair on your head. You can't see if you have any. You have to feel it. So it's everything depends on knowledge, Atmagyan, knowledge that is handed down by the spiritual master. Guru, Sadhu, Sastra. Now they have, many, many years ago, if you want to be a taxi driver, you have to know all the road rules and all the places. Now you can just have the GPS. You can see. Similarly, if you want to know about Krishna, you have to have Guru, Sadhu, in the scriptures. Jnana dipena bhasata. The knowledge is there for us to see. So, Shastra Chakshus, we see through the eyes of the scriptures. When we can learn from seeing, it's not true. Because when you see the deity, you may think that's just a statue. But when you hear about Krishna, about the glories of Krishna, about the glories of Lord Ram from the books, then you know, actually, they have a transcendental form, Satchidananda Vigraha. So we have to hear from the scriptures to understand the full picture of the personality of Godhead. So sometimes even today, they say in India, Ram Rajya, because Lord Ram was an ideal king. Because during his time, Lord Ram's time, even today people talk about Lord Ram because by his mercy, by his presence, people felt like Treta Yuga. This happened in Treta Yuga. People felt like this was Treta Yuga because it was so wonderful. Rama means all pleasure. Someone may describe Lord Ram in many ways. He is full of happiness. And he was the ideal king because he was very exemplary. And Lord Ram, there are many stories in the Ramayana how he had to go to Sri Lanka at that time and fight the demons. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that when there is a discrepancy in this world, irreligiousness, then he comes to establish the dharma sthapina artaya, and to protect his devotees. So that is Krishna's mission. God's mission, to come to protect His devotees. So this is called Leela, pastimes. Just like the gopis in Vrindavan. They are not office workers. They are not PhDs. They are not scholarly. But whenever there was a problem, they turned to Krishna. Because they knew Krishna is their love. Krishna is their protector. Krishna is their everything. So Lord Ram was exiled to the forest. 14 years. He didn't have to go to the forest. He's God. He's Bhagwan. Ramchandra Bhagwan. But he still went because he didn't want to break the promise. He was setting an example. If we go to the forest, and Sita Devi also went, and Lakshman. In the forest is a very furious place. It's not a comfortable place. But Lord Ram, he was having a good time in the forest. Because there were sages, every day they were giving him good fruits, food, hermitages. So Lord Ram was having a good time in the forest. There's no suffering for God. You know, nowadays they have people go mountain climbing and all these things. And here you see in the news every day they're getting lost. And then even the helicopters getting crashed in the mountain. So Lord Ram and Lakshman and Sita, they were in the forest for 14 years. They said those sages that were taking care of Lord Ram, they were not just sages. They were actually gopis from past before. They took birth as gopis. I mean, as rishis to take care of Lord Ram. So everything is the Leela of Lord Krishna. And this happened Treta Yuga. This is such a long time ago. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar and Kali. We're in Kali Yuga. It's a long time ago. Millions of years ago. Other yugas. Still today, people are worshipping Lord Ram. I remember when I was in their age, I wanted to have a big picture of Sitaram Lakshman behind, with holding the bow and arrow. Green color, so extraordinary. So people like to worship, especially kids. You have a hero that you like to, like modern heroes, like I don't want to mention. He may have a kirtan heroes, who knows. You like your favorite. So you look up to somebody who's very strong, can protect you, can take care of you. So Lord Ram was like that. Everybody felt he was so strong and so protective of his citizens. He did everything and exemplary. Like I said, he didn't have to go to the forest for 14 years. But to upheld the principle. It says Krishna in Dwarka, he wakes up in the morning and he's meditating. On who? We get up for Mangalarati. I've been staying here for the whole week. Today is the only day temple's full. Other days is less than half full. Where are you? Festival here every day. So Lord Ram, he was so exemplary. He used to go around the citizens. If they're talking somebody talking about him or what are the problems in the society, he was listening to make sure that citizens are happy. Even in Krishna's time, there is somebody died, very young child. And they said, why they died at this age? Nowadays people are dying all the time. Nobody asks. Because people should not die before their time, death comes from their on-time death. So that means those days when Lord Ram was here, when Krishna was here, Arjuna, they were here, Pandavas, 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, other yugas, all the citizens were very happy. That's why it's mentioned here. They were very happy and satisfied because of the presence of Krishna. When Srila Prabhupada was here also, not many years ago, all the devotees were working so hard, so much frustration to open temple. But because Prabhupada was here, nobody cared about their problems because they felt very happy because of the presence of Prabhupada. We don't care about some problem we have because when you see Prabhupada, when you see Lord Ram, when you see Radha Ballabha, all your problems will go away. We seemingly think that we have problems. Today, 1975, the reason why I'm sitting here today is because of Prabhupada's mercy. 1975 today is the day when Krishna Balaram Mandir was open. Do you know that? And that's the day there was a big initiation. 100 devotees, and maybe more, I can't remember. And I got initiated that day, yeah. So it's the mercy of Prabhupada. Without the mercy of Prabhupada, we wouldn't be sitting here today. We wouldn't have a temple like this. Prabhupada said he built a house in which the whole world will live peacefully. That's why everyone is flocking to come to Melbourne Temple. Because here you feel Shanti. They have so many parks. Albert Park and King's Park, Queen's Park. But I have heard from people. They come to our temple, they sit outside, they said, I feel very peaceful here. Because Krishna is present here. This is the temple, Krishna is here. This is his home. Prabhupada's home, Prabhupada's house, Radha Ballabha's home. So when you go to somebody's house, they make it very clean, very peaceful. A devotee's house, non-violent. So this is Prabhupada's house. So I wanted to mention that this is a very special day because of Prabhupada's mercy, that we can even know a little bit about Lord Ram or Krishna. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhaktilata Bij. By the mercy of Guru, one can know Krishna. And by the mercy of Krishna, you can know Guru. So Lord Ram, even though it happened millions of years ago, you can still feel the presence of Lord Ram. When he chant Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, I remember in the 70s, they used to call us, there goes Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. They're chanting Hare Krishna. Some places in India, they chant Ram first, right? We say Hare Krishna, they say Ram first, Hare Ram first. I remember once, when I was in a Gurukul, we used to go for Rath Yatra. So there was a big Rath Yatra in Surat. 3 carts, huge carts. And so they said, so they need a kirtan leader in each cart. So they appointed me to do kirtan in front of Subhadra. And in India, the Rath Yatra maybe is not like just here in St. Kilda, 5 minutes go around or a half an hour. And they have it for 6 hours. Then maybe it's from here to the city or less. But they take 6 hours or 7 hours. They stop and everybody, they do ceremony, stuff like that. And so about 1 hour, 2 hours later, everybody left the kirtan. All the devotees. And it was just me and all the local Indian people. And they were singing Rama, Rama first. So I was singing Hare Krishna, Hare, and they're going Rama, Rama. So I stopped the kirtan. I said Krishna first. And they said, TK. And then when I sang, they started again Rama first. So I was really angry. So I stopped. I said, Krishna first. So they don't know I'm from ISKCON. We are Krishna devotees. Even in India, they say they may go to Durga Mandir or they have many Hindu temple. But when it's Janmashtami, they come here because they know we are strong believer of Krishna. Because they know we love Krishna. We propagate Krishna consciousness. We are Radha Krishna devotees. So when they want to worship Radha Krishna, they want to see Krishna, they come to our temple. Even I was living in Bhaktivedanta Manor. They have Sitaram Lakshman and Hanuman. Very beautiful deity. That's because you Indian people, they love Sitaram. So Prabhupada installed that. So they attract the people to come to our temple. If you love Lord Ram, you have to follow his example. You have to follow. If you want to please Lord Ram, Rama means one who is very pleasing. Shukha is mentioned here, very pleasing, who gives happiness. Hare Ram. So there was many stories of Lord Ram. Lord Ram's, who is favorite devotee of Lord Ram? Who knows? Hanuman is very common, everybody knows. So Hanuman, when he came and he saw Sita Devi, Sita Devi, Indian women, when they married, they have this red dot, right? What's the meaning of wearing the red dot? Some of you are married, but you don't have a red dot. Means, so he asked Lord Ram, Hanuman asked Sita Devi, why are you wearing this red dot? She said, it just shows my love for Lord Ram, that she's a married lady. She's chaste to her husband. And suddenly, Hanuman disappeared. Phew, gone. So nobody knew where Hanuman went. And Hanuman came back, and there was a red thing. He dipped himself in the red dot, the red color, where you wear the thing. That shows that you were chaste. But he was saying that he fully surrendered to Lord Ram, not just dot here. He dipped himself in the red dot. So that's why we have to have, that is the perfection of our life, is when we can fully surrender to Krishna. And Hanuman, he is also, like many of us, my favorite. And Hanuman, he likes to sing the glories of Lord Ram. He has this metal thing, not wooden thing. And the metal in between, they go like that. What do you call that? Some kind of an instrument. He plays that. So he can travel, Hanuman can travel all over the universe. He doesn't have a body like us. He has transcendental body. So then he was flying in the mountain, and he saw Narad Muni on the way, on top of a hill. He said, "Oh, Narad Muni, how are you?" And they sat on a hill, and they were discussing about, Krishna, and Hanuman discusses about Lord Ram. So Narad Muni asked Hanuman, like, you are such a good singer, can you sing glories of Lord Ram? And he said, yeah, sure, because he loves Lord Ram. He'll sing anytime, anywhere. And so Narad Muni, he plays Veena, And so he put the Veena down. They're on a hill, on the top of a hill. So he put the Veena down, and Narad Muni was listening to his singing. Hanuman is singing the glories of Lord Ram. And he was so melodious and so full of love that the rock was melting. We sing, nothing melt. Our heart melts, maybe. Our heart has to melt. But the real rock was melting. So when Narad Muni, when they stopped singing, Narad Muni wanted to take out the Veena. And then he was stuck in the rock, because rock was melting. So they said, what to do now? They said, can you sing again? Because the rock may melt, and he can take the Veena out. So that's what happened. So Hanuman, when he sings, he has so much love. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gada Gada. His voice was choking out, tears flowing from his eyes. That is the affection, that when we sing for Krishna, when we sing the glories of Prabhupada, we're having Guru Puja, and everyone is looking at the deity. Imagine Prabhupada was actually sitting there. You're looking at Krishna. How do we know Krishna without the mercy of Guru? Think about it. We're having Guru Puja, everybody, you're not going to get the mercy of Krishna. If he sees you, if Krishna tells you, you're not respecting my devotee. So we always have to be conscious of serving Krishna, how we are doing it, how we are actually pleasing Prabhupada. Are we actually pleasing Krishna? Are we actually pleasing the devotees? It's not a mechanical thing. Just now we had the kirtan. Some of you are very young compared to me. Maybe some of you like kids. And I saw some person very young, he was standing against the wall like this. Like, what are we doing? We are singing and dancing, You need to take your hands off from your chest, put it in the air and dance, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in ecstasy. You want the mercy of Lord Ram? You want the mercy of Krishna? You have to surrender. Hands in the air means surrender. I surrender. And he got like that. I almost wanted to tell some of the brahmacharis to take his hand out, put it in the air. And there was a devotee came to Prabhupada and he says, we're doing the kirtan, and this person, he had his hand like this. So Prabhupada told him, you should have just pulled it out and put Hare Krishna in his ear. So they're doing that later on. And then this person came to our temple in Vrindavan, and he was rolling in the ground in ecstasy. Like when we are in ecstasy, we should not roll in the ground because we are making a show. You should keep it to yourself. But this person was really rolling in the ground. So the devotees came to ask Prabhupada, what should we do? He's rolling in the ground in ecstasy. It doesn't look good and obstructing us. Prabhupada said, okay, give him a good kick in the side of his rib. Maybe he was just joking. So then they literally did that. and they said, don't do it because the local will be very angry. Maybe we'll have a big mob coming attack our temple. Prabhupada said, if he is really in ecstasy, he will be still rolling on the ground. That's why you can check. If you give him a good kick, he will get up and run away. Means he doesn't have the ecstasy, he's just showing off. So when they did the good kick in the side, he ran off. He was just showing off. He had no tears in his eyes like that. So, devotees, we need to fully surrender to Krishna, fully surrender to Lord Ram. Lord Ram is here. Millions of years ago, this pastime took place, but he is also here today. Tad dure tadantike. It's mentioned that Krishna is very far, but he's also very near. There's so many stories of Lord Ram. Lord Ram is so merciful and so loving. He is accepting your service. When Sita was kidnapped by Ravana, he met Lord Hanuman first. And he gave him the idea. Hanuman is so strong, he can jump and leap from one side to the other side of the ocean. I've seen some devotees, they can jump very, very high, leaping. I used to have many dreams of like leaping, running. So one time I had this dream that our Mayapur was attacked by like gundas. In India they have gundas. They were attacked. A real long time ago we had less devotees. So the gundas got all of us. And there's a building between Lotus building and a long building. You know that? Who's been to Mayapur? And there's a lawn in between. And I leaped from Lotus building and landed into a long building. I was having a really good time. Then I woke up, I said, well, it's not real. I wish I could do it. So then I had so many dreams like that, like jumping and flying. And I remember one time, I really, really wanted to go to Mayapur. And I didn't have the money, and there's so many issues. So then I had a dream that I'm flying to Mayapur. And they're having a program outdoor at the Gurukul. I used to live in Gurukul. All the kids and the teacher. And I fly and coming down. And they say, hey, come, let's fly. I said, wow. I was having such a good time because I'm flying to Mayapur. And he put his feet out and he fly so fast. And on the way, there was a date tree. Stopped and grabbed some dates. I said, bring for my friends in Mayapur. Maybe it's Middle East or somewhere. I grabbed the dates. And so I woke up. I said, oh, what a drag. It's not real. Imagine. So sometimes the devotees are yogis. So I consulted an astrologer. So I have a lot of dreams, flying dreams. And so they said, a lot of devotees, they are yogis in their last life. But we are bhakti yogi, we're the highest. We should be able to fly now too. I said, no, but there's limitations. So the thing is, you have to be enthusiastic to serve Krishna. It doesn't matter we're in a dream or not. If you're experiencing Krishna consciousness, it's just as good. It's just as good, I reckon. So, serving Krishna, we have to have that enthusiasm. And Lord Ram, He can be with us now. Sometimes Narad Muni, sometimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Panchatattvas, the Acharyas, they come here. They attend the Kirtan. But they're not going to come if you're just like this standing. Haribol, what time is Prasharam? They're not going to come. You have to have the enthusiasm. Utsaha nisayadayat. Rupa Goswami said, the criteria, the standard of Krishna consciousness, the devotee's love, expression of love, is through your enthusiasm. Utsaha. Show your enthusiasm. It's not that Krishna is so far away. Millions of years ago, Lord Ram came. He's here now. He could be sitting in the audience somewhere. Sometime, most of our temple I've been to, we always have one or two pagal. You never know. We somehow attract some crazies, weirdos. But Krishna is merciful. There was one person, he was totally crazy. Matted hair, foreigner. Matted hair, very dirty. Sometimes when you go to Harinam, you walk past somebody, you really like, you want to close your nose. Like he didn't take a shower for maybe a month. Leather jacket, wearing in the summertime. So then, Prabhupada, when he walks, Prabhupada's like a king, very, like a swan looking up. He's not proud, he's looking at Krishna. And he has chadar like that, and he's walking. All the disciples with him, sannyasis. There's no way you can go near. Like if you see a sadhu, people from India, they jump on their feet for mercy. But it wasn't easy to get to Prabhupada because he was always surrounded by his disciples. So then this one person, really dirty, smelly, long hair, he didn't take a shower for months, and all this. And he walked up to Prabhupada. And they said, stop, let him come. And the devotees wanted to keep him away from Prabhupada. And he came and touched Prabhupada's feet. And he was holding in his feet like long time. And Prabhupada had his hand over his head. And he was crying, and his water from his eyes was dampening on his feet. People couldn't believe, the devotees couldn't believe. So this Prabhupada was showing the mercy. He knew this is a genuine person. He became a big distributor, book distributor later on. So we don't know who comes, so we have to be respectful to the devotees. So Lord Ram, he was exhibiting so many qualities when they were building this bridge. Hanuman was so strong. He was picking up big rocks, and he was throwing them in the ocean to make a bridge. And there was one animal, small, squirrel. Yeah, and he's also building the bridge, assisting Lord Ram to build the bridge. And they can't do that much. They can pick up a little rock maybe or some sand. So Hanuman said, get out of my way! Sometime I'm doing the kirtan here, some people standing around, get out of the way. Even enthusiastic, you have to be in the middle of the Sankirtan. Otherwise, stay at the back. So this person, this squirrel was to Hanuman, says, get out of my way! What are you going to do, build a bridge? It's going to take 1,000,000 years. We need to go to Sri Lanka and kidnap Sita. They kidnap Sita. We have to rescue Sita from Ravana. We need to build a bridge quickly. What are you going to do? It takes ages. So Lord Ram saw this, and he said to Hanuman that leave him alone. He's also assisting you. So sometimes you're all doing big distribution books and big scores. I'm just in the kitchen cooking. They think, this guy, cooking. Next time if you think like that, I'm not going to cook. When you come home, no prasharam for you. So everybody is assisting Prabhupada. Everyone is participating in the Sankirtan movement. So that squirrel, Lord Ram told Hanuman, he's also assisting me in his own way. So we're all participating in the Sankirtan movement of Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of Radha Vallabha. It is not just service, one service you do. he have to do all kind of service. Menial service. We are looking for someone to do service. I'm so busy chanting. And he go away somewhere. What is the meaning of chanting? Hare Krishna means to please engage in your service. And this temple, I have been to many temples. If you go to Vrindavan and Mayapur, if you want to do puja, you have to go in the line. After 1 month, maybe you can get on the altar. And here we need pujari, we need cooks, and everyone scratching their head, oh, I am busy. But I'm very busy chanting. Chanting Hare Krishna means to engage in your service. So more you chant, service is available. So if you want to please Lord Ram, you have to be like Hanuman, enthusiastic like Hanuman. And Sita Devi, she is most chaste lady to Lord Ram. Actually, when Ravana took Sita, it's not the original Sita. They say it's the copy or fake Sita, Maya Sita. They made that ring of fire, magical ring. She stepped out of that, and Ravana kidnapped her. At that time, the fire god, she protected Sita, the real Sita. He produced the fake Sita. So Ravana took the fake Sita. But of course, this is all past times. So we have to stay in the ring. What is that ring? Who knows the ring? The ring of fire. Huh? Holy name. That's our protection. This is, I lost my bead bag, so I had to get this. Like the sannyasis, they have a danda. Why do they have danda? That is their staff, that is their protection. Our protection is to stay in the ring of the fire of devotional service, in the ring of fire of chanting the holy names. The Hare Krishna mantra is our protection. Lord Ram is there in the Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. He's there in his name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Ram is also Krishna. Ramadi murtishu kalani amena tishtan nana pataram akarod bhuvaneshu kintu Krishna swayam paramabhavat. What's that one? Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Ram and Krishna is the same. So when you chant Hare Krishna, Rama is included in the mantra. Ram is there. Every time Lord Ram is there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared 500 years ago. He didn't have any weapons. He is the mantra, Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Treta Yuga, Lord Ram appeared with a bow and arrow to kill the demon Ravana. So every incarnation, Krishna's incarnation, they have a purpose. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared 500 years ago. We didn't have any Ravana with 10 heads. But now we have so many demons. Little demons. To kill those demons in this Kali Yuga is through the holy name of the Hare Krishna mantra. Those days, there was demons, big demons. Only Lord Ram can kill. So he had to come with a bow and arrow. A special demon, Ravana. Even Lord Hanuman couldn't kill him. Only Lord Ram can kill him. Because he had 10 heads. He had a special arrow to kill him. He had to hit him in the heart. So, similarly, Lord Ram, at that time, millions of years ago, even if we are not there, we can hear these stories, these pastimes of Ravana, from Ramayana, from the Bhagavatam, these stories. These stories of Lord Krishna or Lord Ram is so sweet to hear, pastimes of Lord Ramachandra Bhagavan. There's Ramayana you can read. Tears will come from your eyes, depending who wrote it. Sometimes there is interpretation. But if you can read the Ramayana, it's so enchanting, so catching. I know there's one Ramayana written by somebody named Subramaniam. That's supposed to be a bona fide one. I read it twice and 3 times. When I was living in China, there's not much to do. There's no devotees, so I read this Ramayana. Tears flow from the eyes. Because when your tears come, it's toxics coming out of your body. A little bit. So when you read these stories, it's such good feeling. And like I said, if you don't believe it, then you talk to the devotees. We can convince you. We can read the Bhagavatam. You will understand the stories are real. Why do you think millions and millions of people go to Vrindavan and Ayodhya? You think they're all non-believers? You think this is not true in mythology? All those people are wasting their time? Vrindavan, I went to Vrindavan 1975, the first time I got initiated. You could come out of the temple and the forest everywhere. You can see from our temple all down the Davanalakund forest. You have to go through the forest. If you go to the right, you can see the blue cows just beside our temple, forest. That time, 1975. We got the glimpse of the real Vrindavan. Imagine 5,000 years ago. So I was telling my students in China, there's a place called Vrindavan, and there's Yamuna River, lotuses, like the description. So they went there, I took them, they said, where are the description? I didn't see any lotuses and all those beautiful things. They only saw the pigs and stuff. So I had to explain, you have to imagine now. Those at one time these things were existed, but now you have to imagine it. So separation. So I actually also been to Ayodhya. That place is also a very beautiful place. People want to take over and stuff. That place is very ancient. And there's a river there. Lord Ram had to go to the forest through that river. And that river's still there. And they have their own type of, there's a very beautiful place. In India, there's a lot of nice places you can go to. So anyway, today is the day. We can talk about Lord Ram, sing about Lord Ram, and read about Lord Ram pastimes, and discuss and these pastimes, even though so long ago. But by talking about little bit about the pastimes of Lord Krishna, Lord Ram, we can develop the bhakti. Like it says in this verse, we will feel happy and our distress will go away. Especially these days, last 2 years, people are, they're saying, you can call the lifeline and they'll give you advice how you can not kill yourself because you have so much stress. All you have to do is chant the name of Ram. This verse is the key point. They may say, simply by chanting Hare Krishna, how can you be happy? But we are happy, aren't you? Are you not happy chanting Hare Krishna? I'm seeing somebody really, really happy. Maybe they have a big bank balance. We don't have big bank balance. Maybe some of you, I don't have. But I'm happy just as much. Because I know when you come to Melbourne temple, all you have to do is chant Hare Krishna. They give you a big plate of prasadam at the end. They don't ask you any questions. You go to Arati or Bhagavatam class, they don't ask you. Just have to turn up over there, even if you didn't have to see the deity. They're so merciful. Yeah. And not just one plate with one rasgulla inside and a little bit of with the plate they give you. Bye-bye. We give you seconds hot khichdi, as much as you can eat. That's our temple. This is the mercy of Prabhupada. Prabhupada temple is you get the full package of Krishna consciousness. Kirtan, pravachan, we don't say bye-bye. Well, there's one more thing. If that one thing was not there, nobody would be here most days. That's Prasadam. So Kirtan, Pravachan, Prasadam. All of our temple, they know, oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. They're giving big plate of Prasadam. All you have to do, I remember when I first joined, I would go in the room, put some tilak on, if I'm not a devotee. Then they say, oh, Hare Krishna devotee, they give you Prasadam. All you have to do, make up a show, you're a devotee. And then, so how much we care, this is the mercy of Prabhupada. So if you really want to learn about Krishna, if you really want to learn about Lord Ram, I'm not saying go to the ISKCON temple, but you can see the differences. I'm also from India, I have been to many, many mandir and praying very deeply. But when I went to the ISKCON temple, first time, I was really blown away by the cleanliness of the temple. You know, those in the 70s, most people that lived in the 70s, even earlier, they didn't have many, many buildings. People live in a simple cottage in the 70s. So when I went to ISKCON temple, marble floor, lights in and off, and so clean, I said, wow, I want to sleep here. So cooling. And my mother said, no, we have to go. I said, no, I'm staying here. Because it's mud hut and all this. I like the temple better, ISKCON temple. So I went to some of the Hindu temple. I didn't like it so much because it's not very clean, and you see monkey running through, rats. It wasn't. So I went to the ISKCON temple. I'm not saying they're bad, but I'm just saying when I went to ISKCON temple, I was like really blown away. I said, wow. And these foreigners are coming. I said, wow, these white people, they're sadhus. I only saw them in the movie. These people are devotees. I was really blown away. And they're really tall people, you know, Americans. Like, you know, when you're a kid, everything looks tall. And then they're all sadhus, tilak. So I said, I want to be here. And they're talking about Krishna. They're talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everything that I'm saying, I learned from the foreigners. Even some of you guys, they join the temple here. You're going to the temple in India. You just go in there, pray, and go home, and go to work. But when you came here in Melbourne, you became a devotee. See, you heard it from ISKCON here, not in India. So this is all due to the mercy of Prabhupada. This is the mercy of Krishna here. So, if we really want to develop that love for Lord Ram, if we really want to develop the love for Prabhupada, for Hare Krishna mantra, you have to develop the taste. Nama ruchi. Taste for the holy name. Taste for the pastimes of Lord Ram. Like Hanuman. I have heard Hanuman, he will go to places wherever people are discussing about Lord Ram in disguise. Hanuman, he can change his form. One time they took, Ravana had many brothers, and they took one demon named Mahiravan. He was one of the brother of Ravana. And he had a palace under the ground, Patala, in the lower planets. So he took Ram and Lakshman by mistake, and he hid them there. So everyone who was looking for Lord Ram and Lakshman couldn't find, because they're in the Patala, down there. Nobody will know where they are. So Hanuman was desperate to find them. So he had mystic power. Hanuman had mystic power. So there was an opening. You can go through there to the Patala. Like they have this Bermuda Triangle. You heard about that? The plane gets sucked in. They said that area is connected to the other planets. That's where they have the gap there. So there's a lotus where Hanuman took, Mahiravan took Lakshman and Ram through that. So then there's magic there. And Hanuman, he also has magic. And so he has to go through the lotus, and he will be confronted by like lions and tigers. But this is all magic. So he went down, right down, and then he was in the Patala Loka. And so he was sitting on a tree as a monkey. And in India, sometimes people go in the villages getting the water from the hand pump, and they're always talking about this and that, and chatting about, gossip, whatever. So they're saying, do you know that we have our king, they have 2 boys, very handsome boys, and they're going to sacrifice them in front of Kali. And Hanuman he became more small so they can't detect him. And he got near, and he found out where they're living, down at that special place in the temple. So then Hanuman went there, and he spoke to Kali. Kali, they have a big sword. So then Ram and Lakshman told Hanuman that they're going to sacrifice us in front of Kali, so you have to protect us. So he had a deal with Kali. Kali is holding the sword. So Hanuman told Kali, listen, I'm going to hide behind you, and I'm going to need your sword. So when the time comes. So they're going to sacrifice Lakshman and Ram at this particular time. At that time, they're going to need the sword. So then, time was coming. Hanuman was hiding behind Kali, Ma Kali. And they said, Maharavan said, bow down. We're going to sacrifice you now. And Rama and Lakshman said, we are prince. We don't know how to bow down. Then he said, I'll show you how to bow down. So when he goes down to bow down, he's going to take the sword and chop his head off. And that's what happened. And Hanuman took Raman, Lakshman on their shoulder. There's this famous picture. They're flying up. You've seen that picture? So he's coming up from the Patala Loka. And another time, Hanuman was guarding Rama and Lakshman. I think before that, actually that story is connected. Hanuman his tail can be so big, so from his own tail he made a wall. You know that? Like round, all the way to the sky. And so there's a gate, and that gate, Vibhishan was there. He was guarding, so no one can go in. So then that's the time Maharavan came, and he took the form of Vibhishan. And then that's the time he took the 2 brothers. He didn't know that he was in disguise. And so the thing is, Hanuman, he can know everything, but because his tail, he was too busy, his tail was up in but they have to have a gap. But usually no one can escape from Hanuman because he knows everything. Even he's a mosquito, size of a mosquito, he will still know. So anyway, the thing is, Lord Hanuman, he has the special power of Lord Ram, empowered by Lord Ram. Even like Arjuna, he was empowered by Krishna. So when Krishna left the planet, the gopis were attacked by a bunch of gangs, and Arjuna couldn't do anything because Arjuna's powers gone because of Krishna withdrew his strength. So similarly, we also can be empowered by Krishna, like Prabhupada. Prabhupada is empowered by Krishna. You can do what Prabhupada did, no one can do. Prabhupada went to America on his own and had a heart attack. And still when his godbrothers went, they came back, they said impossible. They couldn't do it, just Prabhupada did. So he was empowered by Krishna. Even when he came back to India, he wanted to actually preach in India. But because he was meant to preach Krishna consciousness in the West. But Krishna told Prabhupada, don't worry, I'll be there with you. I'll help you. I'll assist you. So sometimes devotees do amazing things because we're empowered by Krishna. Even ordinary devotees. They say, how do you get the energy? If you don't believe it, you feel tired. Oh, what a 50 years old guy can dance like that? Krishna's mercy on us. Krishna sometimes empowers us. When you're sick, you go see some devotees, they'll fix you. Then ultimately, Krishna is giving his blessing. So all of you devotees, maybe you're coming on Ram Navami, other days you maybe not. But nonetheless, Krishna consciousness will go on. Everybody leave. You have to have the attitude, I'll be the last one. I'm going to stay. I love Prabhupada. I love Krishna. I love Lord Ram. I will stay here forever. We have to have that kind of affection for Krishna. Then you'll be happy. It's not that he gets sick, I also get sick. We're the same. Sometimes this can be just a thing. But we need to express ourselves that we will serve Krishna to the end. See, Hanuman, he was like that. Hanuman is so pure and so loving. He never deviated from in one moment. And Lord Ram himself, he said, one wife. I've seen devotees 5 times, 6 times. What is this? Prabhupada said, our Guru Maharaj once, and disciples many. So Lord Ram, Ram Raja, he is the exemplary, he is the ideal king. He didn't have to do, but he was upholding the principle of dharma. He never deviated. Krishna is the opposite. 16,180 wives. That's because those women, they need protection. Krishna said, I will take care of you. But Lord Ram, Sita Devi. So in Kali Yuga, we need to be strict. We need to follow. That's what I mean, following the example of Lord Ram. God himself. Lord Ram is God. Rama, Adi, Murti, Sukala, Niyama. Rama, Krishna, they're all avatars. Deepar Chirabahi Desanti Rama Pamitya. Like a deepa, like a candle. When you light a candle, the original candle is Krishna. And then you light so many candles from that original candle, they're like Krishna's avatars, other incarnation. But Krishna is the original. This way we have to always make sure that we understand. We're not simply doing, we understand the position of the Supreme Lord. And this way, this is how we can develop love for Krishna, love for Lord Ram. And be like Lord, like Hanuman, enthusiastic. Hare Krishna. Any questions, quickly? He, will be my guess. Sometime people die at that time. It's not ordinary death. He died from his separation from Lord Ram. So that death, he is not like onto him by force. He died from a separation from his son. So it's a different thing. This is called vipralampa, separation. So sometimes the separation is so strong, like we get heart attack. We don't know exactly heart attack or not. They may be having ecstasy. They die from it. So that's it's not common. In that time, that story is a very special story of Lord Ram going to the forest and his separation, Dasharat passing away. It's not ordinary. Other people, this didn't happen. Like our parents sometimes pass away, we just have a little bit of tear. But we didn't die. We didn't die instantly. So that was a different type of death. It's spiritual, transcendental, passing away. And at that time, he wanted to also show that how much he loved his Lord Ram, that he died from separation. Sometimes you people, husband, wife, also, there's not really there's so much separation. You go to work and you stay longer better. Who knows? Who knows? I don't have to cook. Let's eat in the restaurant today. So I'm just saying, Sita Devi, she was so much separation from Lord Ram that she was not eating, sleeping, matted hair. It says when the husband is away, Mataji is supposed to wear a special sari and separation from the husband. Like a white with a red border. I haven't seen anybody. So it's not that she was wearing the red border white sari. She was expressing her love for Lord Ram, even didn't wear the sari. She was matted hair. So much love for Lord Ram. So the whole story is because Sita was kidnapped. To protect Sita, to bring Sita back. The whole Ramayana is geared towards that story, to bring Sita back. If Sita was not kidnapped, there would be no Ramayana. But this is all Leela. But also, it's showing that there's a lot of complications in the married life. Maybe. And including Lord Ram, he's showing that. But this is pastimes, like I said, of love of God. But at the same time, there is distresses in family life. It's not looks all good. You see someone and you fall in love, but that the reality is different from what you see. Sometimes I believe in seeing, because it is true. When you see, you say, I don't want it. So sometimes you experience, there's a secondary classification. Real intelligent person, they learn by hearing. Not for me, thanks. Some they hear, they see, and they have to suffer, and they do it again, 5 times, 6 times. So Lord Ram is very staunch. Bhagavan, he's showing us how to be a devotee, an exemplary devotee, how to be a Krishna conscious person. God himself is showing us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu same. He's dancing in ecstasy. He would run out from his house to go to Mangalarti, even though it was very near. He's running to go to Mangalarti. I'm late. Our time, if you're late, they put big L. Late. They cut your pusharam in half. And A for absence, no pusharam. Fanatical. But we are so lucky we don't have to do those things these days. Like I said, you come here, just Hare Krishna one time, and you see a devotee, Haribol, big plates waiting there. So easy. Very less restrictions. All you have to just be with us. Just be here with us. Sing and dance. The expression of happiness is to sing and dance. When you're unhappy, you don't sing and dance. Krishna is playing flute because he's happy. All happiness. See, all happiness. Lord Ram playing flute. You try to get on there on the altar, husband and wife playing flute. Never going to work. Because pleasure is coming from Krishna. Don't try to imitate Krishna. We can serve Krishna. We are a servant of Krishna. Servant of the servant. Dasa no dasa no dasa. Service is a pleasure. So they serve Prabhu. Nah, not me. I did too much service. Serve me now. Don't have the same feeling. When you serve someone, there's a pleasure in there. That's service attitude. Vaishnavas, we're serving. Hanuman is a servant. Dasya. He's serving. There are 9 process devotional service. He's servant of Lord Ram. All of us including. We are servant of Lord Krishna. We're servant of Prabhupada. We're servant of Lord Ram. You serve while we eat. Not me, no way. You serve me. But I've seen many people here, you go up and you serve voluntarily. When you get out serving, and you come for seconds, you didn't come for the program, I don't feel like serving you. But because that attitude to serve you, you see all living entities, I want to serve this Vaishnava. It just feels so good. Service attitude is a pleasure itself. There's nothing left for you in the bucket. It's just this much khichdi. Said, oh God, I don't want to, next time I'm not serving. But we're not thinking like that because the service itself gives us that pleasure. That pleasure is so much more than enjoying. Spiritual pleasure. That's why we go to, in India, we go to Indians' home, officers, they sign big check. That's what we were looking for. And give to Krishna. They make you come back many times, and then you go back, you died. We didn't serve the devotees. You have to serve the devotees. Somehow. Yeah, that's the process. So this whole example of the Ramayana is to show this Sita, Ram suffering, this expression of for his wife. This is to exemplify our life. Don't make the same mistake. Yeah. We are so lucky. Nobody kidnapped our wife. But maybe perhaps you think, oh, I wish my husband is kidnapped. Then I will be at home. I can get all that money. Merko pocket. You know. This is why I didn't get involved, because I can keep it all to myself. But I'm just making a point that we need to always understand that our life is for Bhagavan. Whatever you have, family, but ultimately our life is for Krishna. Okay? Hare Krishna. I have to stop here now. I have to stop here. Hare Krishna will continue with the program afterward. Yeah. And we'll have more chanting. Hare Krishna. Thank you.